estimating the population.
The population dispersion. So did I put that in the notes here, in the agenda? So I started off pretty easy tonight, and I had a lot of stuff, but this is kind of a tricky lecture, because we actually came a long way by the end of this. So I put it on E. When you draw 3 people from a group of 20, you will tend to get scores from that are closer to the mean. This is biased, since you should really get scores that represent the whole range. So statisticians attempt to correct this by going n-1 for the sample variance, and then to get the sample standard D, it's just the square root of that again. So what would be, for each of these, what would be the standard deviation for the JMU group? It would be 2. And what would be, because it's the square root of 4, how about for the Mary Baldwin group? What would that be? 3. Those numbers are larger than their cousins, if you will, in the population, because they have to show more dispersion. Other question?
Is there a symbol for standard deviation?
It's just S.
And is that the same both for sample and population?
Nope. If it's a sample, then it's S. If it's a population standard D, then it's what? Nope. Sigma. This is, it gets very tricky. I've been very linear about it, but you're going to have to go back and rewrite, re-listen if you need to, send me a draft. It doesn't seem like a lot, but now we're here at the end, and it's like, wow, we seem to have covered a great amount of information here. So if you're dealing with a population, everything is Greek. Greek for population variance is sigma squared. Greek for population standard D is sigma. Go ahead, Ashton.
Oh, nothing. When I said S squared, I wrote it down wrong. I guess I forgot we were on sample instead of population.
Yeah, if it's a sample, then everything is S squared and S. So I think between the notes you've written down here, the book actually does have it correct. I learned from the book at one point in time. So you can go back to the book and get it from the book. Go through it and try to make sure that you've got it pretty straight up here, because it does get a little bit tricky, and it is kind of important to know. So the last bit, and this goes into what you're going to do for your homework problem as we build your knowledge base here. There's only one problem to do for the homework, but it's going to be a problem that'll show me either you get it or you don't get it here. So let's see what we've got. There are 5 sophomores, so I got 5 now, majoring in psych. 5 sophomores majoring in psych at JMU. I asked them how confident they are at getting their psych degree. The rating scale is a 10-point scale with a higher number indicating more confidence. So question 1, which group has more confidence? So answer that question and let me know what you used to answer that question. It's similar to the in-class problem. And which group shows more dispersion in their answers? Make sure you compute for me the mean, sums of squares, variance, and standard D for each group. Let's see. So for problem 1A and problem 1B, what are we looking at for 1A versus 1B?
1A is going to be the population, but 1B is going to be the sample size of that population.
Yep, so just go through that, write some good notes, show me what you know. If you can do that and you can write the notes in the class, you've got this down. This is foundational information. Would you ever actually do this in a study? No, not necessarily, but it's leading to something else. And hopefully you can take a look and you can see that those samples, those data sets, are they relatively easy data sets? 0, 5, 5, 5, and 10?
Yeah.
Yes, we try to make the data set simple because the concepts are a little more complicated than that. So the idea then for next week is to, you got the notes and then you got the problem. You can send me drafts of either or, but we're looking for a good, nice draft outline where you can show this kind of stuff. The last thing I want to wrap with, maybe for 5 minutes, is just to go over what we did last week and some of there were some problems with some of the information there. I think if it's all right to highlight yours again, because you did the information correctly here. Let's see what we got here. Okay, can you see this, Ashton? So what is the deal here? We got an Ashton, we got an Ashley, we got an Ash. So we got 3 A's here.
Nope, 4. You got Amber.
And Amber.
Amber Heather, you know. Anna too, isn't there?
Yes, you're right, Anna Rodriguez. Holy. Yes. Boy, this is I'm gonna have to have name tags for you people. Ashton, did you say you can see the outline here?
I'm seeing the outline. I'm not seeing Amber's outline. I'm just seeing the one you posted, the one for today's class.
Does it have winning and losing and so forth?
She's
Winning and losing?
Yeah, she doesn't
No.
see that. She's seeing the
No.
Word document.
So she's seeing this.
She's seeing the Word document.
Oh,
She's seeing-
sorry about that. Hold on. We can see you. It's nice to see you today. Thank you. Okay, and now we'll go to this. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Let's see. I'd like to try to. Yeah, it's down there at the bottom. So these are just the problems that were done here with the chi-square. There's got to be a way to get this. Oh wait, I can.
Push the arrow.
Where's the arrow?
Go back to the board.
Go back.
Go back. There you go.
Now back from
So
the
a
right.
little to the right.
Over the board.
Little to the right.
Go to the right.
Now
Now
go to
go
the
to the
arrow.
arrow.
Just click.
Just click. Oh, there we go. Kind of. Okay, good enough. Sorry. I'm somewhat incompetent. What can I say? I kind of did it a
Can you
bit.
zoom out? And
Oh,
make it
there's an
smaller?
idea.
Would anyone-
Yeah, up
would you
there,
guys-
The zoom
the top
screen.
and the gray, top
Top.
to
Other
the
top.
left, and
Oh,
a little bit down. See the
there it
right
is.
there.
Thank you.
But you're gonna wanna do this.
No, the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. There you are after being in this room for 4 hours. No, the answer appears to be no. Same to you.
Can you not open it in a Word doc?
Yes, I can. I'm just not sure if she'll see it. Aha.
Now just go back.
Can you see this now?
Yep, I can see most of it, so we're gonna go with that.
I can go and share this with you again. Let's see. Let's try this. Which one is it? This one? No. How does that look?
That looks a lot better.
Bless your heart. Thank you all for your patience. So, I wanted you to do some of this stuff with X and sum of X, just as basic building blocks, just so you know how to do this. So, very nice that we have the scores here. So, the sum of X. How would you get the sum of X with this situation?
You add them all together.
Just add all the numbers. I think just about everybody got that, correct? So, the next one, the sum of X squared. How would you get that?
Square all the numbers and add them together.
Square each number first and add them all up. So what's good about this is it's all annotated here. You should have gotten a number of something like 66. I think most people got that. The sum of X quantity squared.
You square that answer.
You,
Wait.
not
Oh,
quite.
wait, no, you don't.
You
You add
add-
them up. You add all of them up, and then you square that answer.
Exactly. And then for the sum of X minus 1, you take each number, subtract 1 first, and then add them up to get 11. I think most people got this one, even if it
by
was...
most, you're implying that I didn't because I butchered it.
You may have butchered it, but that's okay. It was more situation number 2
I
that...
left everything individual. I didn't add it all together.
Do you see the ways of your errors now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that we're verbalizing it,
That's
apparently
fine.
I did that when I needed to.
But I gave most people a fair amount of credit for this, and I was like, that's okay, it was the first week, but you should know how to do this. Now this situation number 2, many more people I think got confused here. This is a frequency distribution. So X versus F. What's the difference between the X here versus the F?
X is the score and F is how many times it's scored.
Yeah, X is the actual score, and F is how many times that score occurred. So how many total scores do we have in this distribution?
5,
Nope.
10,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope.
it's 10.
It is actually 9 scores. You
Oh,
have,
it's a 0.
yep, there's no scores of 2. So you have 2 scores of 5. You have 2 scores of 4. You have 3 scores of 3. Sorry, 4 scores of 3. 4 score and 7 years ago. You have no scores of 2, and you have 1 score of 1. What's really nice, once again, about if you make a mistake, now you didn't in this case, but when you have it all annotated, it's easy for me to find the mistakes. This week it's not important. Future weeks, just have it all laid out so it's easy for you and for me to figure out where your error was. But you can see the sum, there are 9 total scores, easy to see. And then the sum of this, you actually have to add all these up to get to 31. And then the sum of x squared, you have to square each one and add them all up to get, what was it here at the end? 119. I think I was pretty nice by granting most people either high B's or low A's, because I don't believe most people got this, but if you gave it a good shot and you talked a lot and you gapped a lot, that was fine and you were in the ballpark. But in future weeks, this is kind of what we'll look for. The drafts are so very important here. For this week, I think you're in an excellent position to do a very good draft. Try to do that homework problem. Try to send me at least 1 or 2 drafts of this. It shouldn't be very difficult to get to that level. And once again, for the people that have version 8, keep the book, obviously. Just chat with somebody else in the class to get the exact problems for each week. And if I do send you an email and I say, can I use this for the class, let me know that, because I'm not supposed to technically bring it up, especially if I've got the wrong Ashley per se, so that we can highlight this and let other people see what the right ways were. Do you guys have any comments or questions as the tape rambles on through 11 minutes on this one of time? Is it okay for the other? So we were supposed to have a class 2 weeks from now, but that's test day. So you will not need that. Let me give you a little information on how the test works. For that particular class period, what I'll actually do is there'll be like 4 or 5 questions. A couple of those questions will be computational, and I'll review next week the chi-square stuff as well. Were you able to do, wait, it was for this class, right?
We had a little bit in this class too, yeah.
Did we have you do a chi-square for this class?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm losing my mind at this point.
That's
What was the chi-square on? It was...
I think mine was different because I had a different book.
It was
but
the
I'm not sure.
football teams and the,
Oh, there you go.
and home team.
Oh, yeah.
So did everybody
So it
get
wasn't
that?
different.
So the idea is doing that, and then you figured out the stuff about statistics and about statistical significance. The idea is, would this result happen due to chance? Actually, let me just go through that example. It's an important one. Yeah, let's walk through this. If you know how to do this one, you'll be in good shape. You've done, I think just about everybody got this. So the idea was home team advantage. Actually, did we have an example of this recently? Do we have any basketball fans in the class? Do we have any people who follow the Miami Heat? The Miami Heat last night played in a... Does anybody? Game 7.
On a court!
And they actually won by like 25 points over Indiana. So home team advantage. Yeah, let's go through this to make sure. 64 games, 42 were won by the home team. So the question is, what's going on here with the categories? So 42 and 32. 42 winning. So the question is, can my sanity stand a few more steps here? So if you've got 64 games, what is the FE here?
32.
The frequency expected. If you have 64 games and there are 2 groups, what would we have here? 32 and 32. And what were the actual numbers here? FO were 42 and
22.
22. So as correctly done here, 42 minus 32 squared over 32. And the same with the other. You get number 3.12. And you add up those numbers, and you get a total of 6.25. You compare that to the critical value in the back with 2 in the group, so you have 1 degree of freedom. And so if your number is greater than, what was the critical value? 3.84, I think it was. So the number is greater than that, then you say you're statistically significant. This is the correct way to write it out, as we see on the bottom here. And then you have to make a real-world statement, which is what?
There is a home team advantage.
There is a home team advantage. The home team does win significantly more than the road team. One other thing I want to make sure you're able to do from this, what if I actually had a situation here where there were 3 categories? What if there were 3 categories?
You would have
What if I said I want to look, let's just, well, you can't really do it for the home team advantage, can you? But if there were 3 categories, how would your numbers change here? Let's say there were 3 categories. Technically, win-loss, and just say a tie. If it was win-loss and a tie. And let's say I had 42, 20, and let's say, what would be another good number to have here? We have 64 here, 11. So there were 11 ties. So we had 42, 22, and 11. Let's just write it out as the last thing because we have to extend it a bit.
Marker.
Where is the
Right
mark?
there.
There it is, in front of my face. So let's say it's 42, 22, and 11. 42 wins for the home team, 22 wins for the road team, and let's say 11 times it was tied at the end of regulation. And I wanted to know, is this a significant difference? What would you do with this one?
Would you do 3 and a 75? So 5.
You would now have a total of 75. You may want to write this down. On your final test, I may give you a competency with 3 groups per se, or even for the test in a couple of weeks. With 3 groups here, 42, 22, and 11, this might go into your class notes per se. If you add all those up, what do you get? 75. So what would be chance here? Now you have 3 groups. It would be, FE would be 25. And so now you'd have to go what? 42 minus what?
25.
25 squared over 25 plus
22 minus
22 minus 25 squared over 25 plus 11 minus 25 squared over 25. And when you get that total, what would you have to compare it to in your book?
Which is so bad.
A critical value.
05 and 2.
Now it's going to be a little different because now you have 2 degrees of freedom. If you go into, you could go in the back of the book, but I also think it's in, they give you a little table in there, don't they?
I think you said it was on page 601 or something.
Yeah, it looks like in the 9 version, it's on page 601. It's in the old version as well. Can you tell me what the critical score would be now? Are you seeing it?
Greater than 5, 9, 10.
It's now, the critical value is 5.99.
Because you did 3 minus 1 to get to the F, which is 2.
So, for the other part of your homework, and you're almost there, see if you can finish this off and write your ABA statement, statistical and real world. And then I can know you really understand this particular concept.
Okay, so can you just go over the real world statement again?
The real world statement is to say if this result is significant, then the home team does win significantly more. You could say it's really the same thing again if this result is significant. I think it probably still is. But do the calculations. Or should we just finish it up for you? Have you got a calculator? Are you doing the numbers? Did you get? So, yeah, let's just do it out as a group at Rapid, so you don't have to do this homework. So what do we got here? We got 42 minus 25, which is what, 17? What'd you get for that? Over, what, 25?
289 over 25, 11.56.
That's a big number already. So you got what, 11.86?
56.
11.56. How about the second value? 0.36. And then what'd you get for the final value for the
7.84.
7.84? If you add all these up, you get a value around what, 19?
19.76.
Is 19 going to be significant? Yes. So
Yeah.
it will be significant. How would you write out the APA statement now? Chi, then in parentheses,
2,
2,
75,
n equals 75, close the parentheses, equals 19, dot, 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 and then b less than 05. This is statistically significant. The home team does win a lot more. Whew.
Did they play at home last week?
Yes, the Miami Heat.
And so I'm assuming that they weren't at home on, was it Friday?
Yes, Game 6 was on the road.
Terrible.
Yes.